All right. We're live, doubles. We're
Yes.
live. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Coach Nick Money
DBL Knicks.
and DBL Nicks, and of course the Stonk Queen herself, DBL Moms, in the house. And of course, we want to begin by saying that this is just a show. We are not giving financial or stock advice. We are not financial or stock advisors. It's just a show. Hey! All right. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you don't mind, do what this young man says, por favor.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share.
Because sharing's caring, doubles. Sharing is caring, absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, if you're not following us on X.com, go ahead and follow us on X.com, aka Twitter. It's at Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money. And of course, you can follow us on Twitch at Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money. Also, we will be streaming on the social media platforms for a while, and then at around 9:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be streaming on our private Discord. We suggest that you check us out on the private Discord. We have a link in the description and in the pinned comment so that you can do a 5-day trial. That 5-day trial is for $1. And then after that, it's $39.99. Now, we are going to be increasing the price for that, and that link is going to eventually expire within the next, probably within the next day or two or three or so.
Yeah.
So prices will be going up. So if you want to join and lock in that price, we recommend that you do that right now. Okay, no pressure, but just wanted to bring you up to date with what's going on. So we're looking at SERV. We actually notified it in our private Discord yesterday, and it ran up 87% this morning. 87% this morning, but now it has formed a double top. You can see over here. There's a top. Over here is a top. This is on the 5-minute. And that usually means that the price action is going to start to drop. Usually that's what that means. We can take a look at it on the 1-minute.
1 minute.
And you can see it very clearly. Top, and a potential drop coming into play as a result of that. And you can see that the price action is actually below VWAP. VWAP is the purple line right over there. Volume weighted average. That's what that stands for. So let's go back to the 5-minute.
5 minutes.
And that is the situation currently with SERV. It looks bearish. We had an 87% run on SERV. We had a 100% run on SXTP, which was called in our Discord. So let's go ahead and type that in, SXTP. And you could see that it hit a high of 50 cents. So let's get the graffiti pencil out, doubles. The trusty graffiti pencil right over here. So we got a level right at 50 cents. And it looks like it's trying to test that level. Let's see if we have news for the indelible community. Let's see what's going on. XTP, as we said, it is up around 100%, 50 cents. Just below 50 cents at this point. They have a float of 8 million. Volume is 36 million volume, so that's good. And we got some news on there. So 60 Degrees Pharmaceuticals, that's the name of the company, signs a clinical trial agreement with all planned trial sites for Tafenoquine babesiosis study. Have no idea what that means, but it brought in a lot of volume and the ticker ran up 100%. It's pulled back a little bit. So we're going to put you on a side chart because you seem to be pulling back. You can see that in the RSI, it is in the overbought area. But before we put it on the side chart, let's see what it looks like on the 1 minute.
1 minute.
And on the 1 minute, it is clear that it is, in fact, pulling back. Right over here is the 9 EMA, so we could put a level right here at the 9 EMA and another level right over here. If it can hold this level right here, maybe we could see a bounce upward, but it is super extended, especially when you look at it on the 5-minute.
5 minutes.
You can see how extended the price action is. So if it can't hold this, which is very likely that it will not, we could see the price go down further because of how extended the price action is actually right now. So that's the story with SXTP. Let's go to another ticker. This is a heavier floated stock, but it is moving. It's HE, Hawaiian Electric. This ticker moved right around the time when there was that issue with the fires in Hawaii, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's moving today, but it is a heavy floated stock at 109 million float, and it only has 627,000 shares changing hands, so it's moving on very light volume, and it is currently up 37%. It's a heavy floated stock, not a stock that I would typically trade and probably will not trade, but there is some news on it. Hawaiian Electric surges as reports says among firms in 4 billion Maui fire settlement. So I don't know what that's about, but I guess they must have settled a lawsuit pertaining to that fire that we talked about earlier, and I guess liability reduced, and that may have allowed the stock to move upward. Just speculating. I didn't read the article, just reading the title. Not a ticker that I would typically go ahead and trade. Vinay, thank you so much for subscription. Appreciate you subscribing to YouTube. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's the story with HE. I'm not going to talk about it too much because it's not that particularly interesting to me, not in my wheelhouse of interest. But let's go to NVOS. NVOS is currently up. NVOS, hold on one second, we're typing it up. NVOS is currently up, here we go, 21%. And they had some news yesterday at around 4:05 in the afternoon. They received commencement of a disbursement notice from SBLC Leasing and Monetizing Program. So they had some money get released to them. The float is a little bit on the heavy side at just under 17 million, and the volume is kind of low at 5.86 million. The stock price did move in after hours right after that news, and it's been kind of selling off, but it's trying to pop back up in pre-market. We'll keep an eye on it, but right now it appears to be bearish. If we look at this area right here, I'm going to go ahead and highlight it so that we can be specific. Right over here, if we look at this area right over here, we can see that it looks like it's forming a double top, which would be a bearish pattern, and it would need volume to become valid again. So if in fact this is accurate and this is a double top, we could potentially see a further drop in price unless volume comes in and we could see the price action move. The other thing that we're looking at that can give us an indication that the price action is bearish is this teal line right here, which is the 9 EMA. As you can see, it's curling downward. We would want to see it curling upward and moving through the VWAP, which we will put a line over here to show you where VWAP is. VWAP is right at this level right here. So we would want to see the 9 EMA turning around, curling upward, and piercing through the VWAP. Yeah, so that's the story, and we're sticking with it. Let's go to another ticker. This ticker, NAAS, has been running for the past couple of days and trending upward, and it continues to trend upward. It's currently up 13, almost 14%. The float's on the heavier side at 10.5 million, and there's very light volume at 1.6 million, and of course it is on a continuation type of a situation. And when these stocks go into continuation, a lot of times doubles, they become very choppy and hard to trade. But NAAS has been somewhat fruitful, so we'll put it on a side chart. Doubles.
Side chart.
Yeah, we're gonna put it on a side chart. Yeah, that's the ticket. Let's see, what other tickers do we got that we can take a look at? We got a couple of other ones we want to take a look at. So earlier in the morning we had SGD move up 48%. Let's take a look at it. I don't think it held its price after that. SGD, yeah. So you could see that it had formed on the 1 minute. Let's go to the 1 minute. It had formed a bull pennant right over here. Let's go ahead and zoom into that. Right over here, it formed a bull pennant, maintaining support with the lower part of the bull pennant, and in fact the price action spiked upward, and it was looking like it was going to test the high of the day, which was 58 cents, but it hit this peak over here and formed a head and shoulders. So we'll show you how that looks right over here. So one shoulder would be right here, another shoulder would be right on this top tail red wick, and then the head would be right over here. And what ultimately ended up happening was the price action came down from that bearish pattern right over there, and it went below VWAP below VWAP is never where we want the stock to go if we're going long on a position, and it has been selling off pretty much ever since. So SGD, yes, you went up 48%, but what have you done for me lately, Doubles? Right now, not really that attractive. Not schmexy, as we like to say. Not schmexy. XWell is another ticker that has popped up. Let's see what the story is with that. XWEL. Not schmexy, not a lot of volume, and not particularly interesting. It's up 5%. But there's no volume on this. It's a low float stock at almost 4 million float, but nobody is buying it, so the price action went up on very, very low volume. We're showing about 140 shares, so that's practically nothing. So, yeah, so we'll bypass that one. Let's go to CLDI. Also popping up, CLDI. And again, this one moved up on very light volume and then reversed. So not schmexy, Doubles. There is a ticker that seems to have popped up, but it looks like it's like a merger type of deal just based on the chart pattern. That whenever I see something like this, it's usually indicative of some kind of a merger or something along those lines, and the price action is just not moving terribly. So this one's not schmexy either. Float 28 million, volume only 3.8 million, and not really moving out of this range. So unless we see something news-wise that would give us an indication that this is a schmexy stock to chill with, we're going to move on. And we're just saying it just like that. We're just going to move on. You know, PW is another one that we saw on the ticker, on the scanner. No volume, not very schmexy. We'll just say no volume, not interesting. SRFM, again, this seems to be the flavor of the week. It's been a very slow week, and of course, we're in the heart of summer in the east coast of the U.S., so not particularly surprising that the market is a little slow. It tends to pick up as we get closer to September, so you know, July and August tend to be slower and less runners, so it may not be as particularly exciting, but you know what, it only takes one, Doubles. It only takes one ticker to make your day. So we're looking at SRFM, same type of situation here. This ticker does not have a lot of volume. It's hard to even look at it on the 1 minute. Let's take a look at it on the 5 minute. And you can see that it has been selling off right over here. And it is now breaking this downtrend, but very, very choppy. And you can also see that if we zoom in, it is very much barcoding, which is indicative of lack of liquidity. Lack of liquidity creates a situation where market makers have to step in to provide the liquidity. Yeah, that's the ticket. There's the ticket, see? Yeah. So I would have to say, out of all the tickers right now, none of them are really super exciting, Doubles. I mean, you know, that's the doggone truth. But SXTP is in fact moving, and it's currently up 104%. So it's kind of like grinding its way up. You know, we weren't paying attention to it. It pulled back after going up to 50 cents, pulled back, you know, down to this level, held the level, and now it seems to be reclaiming it. So maybe, Doubles, it might get really interesting. Right now we're looking at it at 113%. All right, so just after I said that there wasn't anything running,
well,
SXTP is starting to move. Let's see what's happening. It's not moving really super fast, not super duper. Let's go to the 1 minute.
1 minute.
All right, we're going to look at the 1 minute, and we can see that it is not yet in the overbought area, but it's getting very close to it. It's looking like it's trying to form a ABCD bull pattern. However, ABCD bull patterns without volume oftentimes become double tops. So this key level right up here is going to be of particular interest right over here, the high of day, right over here. So this can either become a double top and bring the price action down, or if volume comes in, it could be an A, B, C, D pattern that pierces through the high of day. Right now, we don't have a lot of volume on this last candle. We're looking at it, and it only has about 109,000 shares trading. So again, it needs to get volume, vitamin V,
Vitamin V.
and a little bit of D. It never hurts when you give it a little bit of D, demand. D for demand, okay? So the story on this ticker, it is an 8 million float stock. There's a lot of previous volume at almost 45 million shares. 52 cents selling right now. It's about 111% up. 111% up. And it does have news from 8:30 in the morning. 60 Degrees Pharmaceuticals signed a clinical trial agreements with all planned trial sites for tafenoquine babesiosis study. I'm not going to repeat that again because I'm having a hard time with it. But now it looks like it might be giving us an A, B, C, D bull pattern, but there's a lot of top tails. So we got two possibilities over here. We could have a bullish A, B, C, D. So that would be A to B, B to C, C to D. That's one option. The other option, which seems to be more probable at this point, since there's not a lot of volume, would be a bearish double top. A bearish double top. So let's zoom in and show you what we're talking about. Right over here, this would be a top, and this would be a top. So it's all going to depend on what the volume is. And right now, volume has increased, but not sufficient enough to push the price action up, and it could possibly be a situation where the shorts are shorting it. There is a key level of resistance here, which is respected by shorts, and that level is right around where the price action is right about now, right there. Hold on one second. Hold on. Let's get that key level there. All right, hold on one second. Right there, and there, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and create that level right over here. There it is. That's what we were trying to do. Yes, indeedy. Right, so that's what's going on. All right. So, and you can see it looks like the prevailing winds are that in fact it is a double top. If it can hold here, maybe it'll retest. It seems to be in a channel right now. So let me clear off the ABCD because that seems to be not likely just yet. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go and get this right over here. And it looks like it's mostly a double top at this point. We need it to really hold up above this 20 EMA and bounce back up. Otherwise, we could potentially be seeing a flush in the price action. And remember, it has already run 113%. So any trades with this particular ticker becomes very risky at this juncture.
Yeah.
See, that's my French, doubles.
Juncture.
My juncture. Pepe Le Pew, oui, oui.
Nice.
Time for some espresso ice. I'm just saying. DBL moms, you outdid yourself again, my little bushy tail Serengeti specialist, you. All right, so we're looking at this ticker, and not really looking too good at this point. It's not holding. It's trying to hold the 20, but it certainly looks like it's getting bearish, and it looks like we're probably going to have a flush in the price action on this particular ticker. So we'll come back to it. But this key level right over here at 53.02 is an area of significant resistance that shorts will congregate at and potentially look to bring the price action down. Now, that being said, we could have a situation if volume comes in where the shorts misjudge it and you end up having a short squeeze.
Ooh, squeezy.
Squeezy, nice and easy. They kind of get their Speedos in a bunch, you know what I mean? They're shorts, yeah. So that's a possibility, but right now it looks like the prevailing wind is that it is bearish with a double top. We'll come back and check it out. Let's take a look at it on the 5-minute before we leave and see what it looks like on the 5-minute doubles.
5 minute.
Alrighty, we're going to zoom in, and you can see on the 5-minute chart right there, you definitely have the makings of a double top. So we'll come back to you. SXTP, you went up 113%. Thank you for the memories. But what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? SERV. That was the other ticker that also formed a double top, and it looks like it's still a double top. It's trying to curl back up. It's trying to, but overall it still looks bearish. That's on the 5-minute doubles.
5 minutes.
Let's take a look at it on the 1 minute. We're going to look at it. We're going to get our binoculars on the 1 minute doubles, the 1 minute. And what we really need to see happen is we need to see this downward trend right here break, right? And as I say that, it pokes its little green candle up over there. But we need a lot more than that, because you have the resistance at VWAP, and you also have resistance right over here on this white line, which is the 200 EMA, exponential moving average, baby. Huh. So, show me SERV. I know you ran up earlier in the morning. I know you ran up 87%. I know you ran up yesterday over 100%. I know that. But what have you done for me lately? Right now, I want to know what you're doing. What are you doing right now? Right now, I don't like what I'm seeing. So we will continue to look for stonks on the Serengeti. My little Serengeti specialist, the bushy-tailed one, the only, the specialist of the Serengeti. DBL moms, do you see anything? Do you see anything that we can pounce on? Anything that would be delectable for the indelible community? Anything? We're looking. We're checking. Everything looks kind of mediocre. Mediocre. So, I'm going to take the opportunity to go over some stuff here with these particular tickers. Let's go back to SXTP, because when it's slow, I like to review things and learn stuff, right? Because it sharpens your tools, if you will. So here's the situation. See, when volume decreased over here, it wasn't clear whether it was going to be an A, B, C, D pattern, which would have been a bull pattern, but again, super extended because it moved quite a bit, or a double top. So it's a super risky type of situation when you have double tops after the price action has run for a long period of time. So it wasn't clear if it was a double top or if it was an A, B, C, D, but because it had ran a long time, you would tend to expect it to be a double top bearish type of pattern, suggesting a reversal, which is in fact what happened, and the price action flushed. Okay, that being said, I also look at other stuff, right? I look at other stuff, like, for example, what's going on with the RSI? It went into the overbought area and it started pulling back, and you could see that the volume candles started to diminish, and you started to see more and more red candles. So that's one component that I looked at. The other thing that I looked at, if we zoom in, is I utilize the 9 EMA as an indicator as to what's exactly is going on, and VWAP. How far is the price action away from VWAP? And you can see, if we zoom in, that it's quite extended away from VWAP, and you can see that the price action is currently pulling down towards VWAP. In addition to that, you can see that the 9 EMA, which is the most reactive of my indicators, is pulling downward, and was in fact starting to curl downward right around here, which was an indication that sentiment of the buyers was diminishing. Doubles, a little diminishment of that, right? Yeah. So that's the story. So that's the story with that, and as a result, it was giving us that vibe that it was going to fail, and in fact it was going to be a double bottom, and that's exactly what happened. And now it's down by VWAP, and what we need to see happen for it to even remotely remain interesting is we need to see it hold above VWAP. If not, then it becomes even less interesting. And the fact that it pulled back so violently like this makes it very, very sus. Doubles.
Sus.
Very sus. So, SXTP, you went up 113%. Thank you for the memories, but right now you're up only 85%, which means you gave up almost 30% just like that. Yeah, you're going to have to do better than that. And now you have a bunch of resistance areas that were formerly support. So you're going to have resistance at 47 cents. You're going to have resistance at the 48 cents. Over here at 50 cents, and then of course the big resistance where the shorts were congregating is 53.02, and that in fact is where they pulled it down. So usually when stocks get pulled down this heavily, they become less trustworthy.
Less trustworthy.
Yeah, time for some espresso ice. Ladies and gentlemen, a cool, refreshing drink.
Espresso.
Yeah. So theoretically, doubles with SXTP, we could say that maybe it'll form a descending wedge for a reversal, but I wouldn't jump on that bandwagon just yet because it just came down too hard, and I would just not feel comfortable chilling with it right now. You know, you went down 30%, too much. Because here's the situation. It could also be forming another head and shoulders, right? So you got a shoulder, and a head, and the price action could continue to start dipping. Now, SXTP is really the only ticker that is moving with any significance right now, but it pulled back so hard that I can't trust it, doubles. I have trust issues with it. It's you, not me, SXTP. It's you, not me, SXTP. Yeah. That's the story. And with SERV, you know, the other runner, it too has formed a double top. It too came crashing down, but now it's trying to make its way above VWAP, but it's still under VWAP. And a lot of times what we'll see in situations like this is a situation where the price action will bounce multiple times, if you will, underneath VWAP before trying to actually clear VWAP, right? So that's pretty much what we got going on, right? And we don't have a heck of a lot of volume. So if we take a look at the 1 minute, we're checking it out, and you can see that the price action is pretty much kind of barcoding. Again, lack of liquidity, which seems to be the flavor of the week. Lack of liquidity has seemed to be the flavor of the entire week. But even with that, there are runners that do happen periodically. Let's take a look at another ticker, because these two are, you know, not healthy at this point, even though SERV is trying to curl, but there's just not enough volume on it to make it Shamexe. All right, so PALI is another ticker, and it is up not much. It's up about 4%. The float on it is very low at 728,000 shares, but it only has about 154,000 in volume. And they announced a European patent at 8:30. It was granted for lead product candidate PALI 2108. So obviously it is a pharmaceutical company, and it had that spike jump to $5.38, and then a horrible sell-off. So really this is not that interesting. We would need to see a significant break of this downtrend right over here, and of course we would have significant resistance right over here where the VWAP is. We like to call it the VWAPA. The VWAPA. So Pally, meh. All right, and you made it up to like 6% just now. So what? What is that supposed to do? You supposed to impress me with that? You got to do better than that for my indelible peoples. My indelible peoples demand more. Yes. I demand more. Yes. NAAS has been running for several days, super duper extended, but it is still trying to remain friends with the trend. So we can go to the 5 minute, and you can see that it has been in fact trending upward. And I'm going to go ahead and sharpen my graffiti pencil and draw a new trend line, doubles, a new trend line. It is in fact continuing to trend upward, right around there, something like that, I would say, right? So overall, but you can see a lot of times it breaks the trend and then it comes back up, and this has been going on for several days that it's been trending up. It's been trending up pretty much since the break of this consolidation period, which was on July 16th. So that was 3 days ago. It broke the consolidation and has been pushing upward, but it's doing so after several days. So the price action is quite choppy and risque. Doubles quite choppy and risque, and that always happens when you have NASS doing its thing for several days. Do we have news on it? I don't see any news on it. And the float on it is kind of on the higher side at 10 million with very low volume at 2 million. So, meh, not a ticker that's super interesting either. I wish we could say that there was something that was really, 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 really schmexy, but there's nothing that's super schmexy right now. Nothing at all. Yeah, so we keep on searching, keep on hunting on the Serengeti for that next stonk, that next one. Let's go to Hawaiian Electric HE. And again, I don't love the stock because the volume, because the float is so high, 102 million shares, 102 million shares. So the float is massive. There's less than a million shares that have traded hands. This company was involved in that fire situation that happened quite a few months ago in Maui, and apparently it looks like that they reached a certain settlement. So it's currently up 41%, a bit of a grinder, very flushy because of the size of the volume, of the size of the float. So so that's how I feel about that one. CYTO coming out with some news. Let's see what's going on with this one. What's the news on CYTO? Click into that, por favor, right there, that one. Yeah, that one. All right, so that one is currently up 10%. Float 1.46 million. Volume about 7,000. Very little volume, but a news article just popped up at 9:01 in the morning. And the news article says that Altamira Therapeutics announces publication of preclinical data showing successful treatment of abdominal aortic aneurysm with SOD2 delivered by SEMA-4 nanoparticles. Blah, blah. That. It says that. But what I'm seeing here on this particular chart is that there is not a lot of volume, and that news has not really done anything. So, CYTO, and this particular ticker has run in the past. So if we go into a longer time frame, you can see. Let's clear up these drawings here. You can see that it has run in the past. It has had moments where it has run. In fact, back in November, it ran, on November 29th, it ran up to $19.52, but overall, it has been selling off ever since. So, not particularly interesting, not schmexy at all. No. SHPH, another ticker that has popped on the scanner. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of the old drawings. And it looks like it has curled somewhat. Again, we don't have a tremendous amount of volume on this. Let's go ahead and put it into the 5 minutes to get a perspective. So you have this one candle. It's a sub-dollar stock. It's going to be very risky. And the story with SHPH is it's currently up 41%. They do have news. Shuttle Pharma selective HDAC inhibitor exhibited ATM activation and modulation of ER expression, resulting in substantial growth inhibition of estrogen receptor positive breast cancer cells. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's got something going on. That's the bottom line. It's got some, it's got something going on. Okay, so it's got something going on. But it's moving a little bit, but not moving enough to be very interesting. The float on this is 10 million, and the volume is only 1.5 million. So not really particularly attractive, if you will. Okay, so yeah, we'll leave that alone. All right, for now, for the time being, we'll leave it alone. I will put it on the side chart just so we have it, but not really that attractive. And it is up at this point 47%, but it seems to have stagnated. Wait a minute. As I say that, it starts moving. So let's see what it's doing on the 1 minute.
1 minute.
All right, you know, just like that, as we're getting ready to leave it, it starts to move. Again, it's still moving on relatively low volume. Let's zoom in a little bit. And the volume is not super high, only about 200,000 shares. And the float's 10 million, so it's a heavy floated stock. It does have some news or some positive results on its breast cancer treatment. That's what the news is, you know. But you know, it's pulling back right now. It had its moment where it was up about 47%. Now it's down to being up only 42%. We'll keep an eye on it. It's going to be a side chart, but it's not moving on a lot of volume. So unless volume comes in, it's not going to be that schmexy. It needs volume doubles. It needs vitamin V.
Vitamin V.
And a little bit of D never hurt neither. D for demand. D for demand. Yes, sir. If you're having fun and liking the show, would you kindly consider sharing the stream?
Because sharing is caring.
Because sharing is caring, and it helps the stream grow, which allows us to create more content for you and get more stuff out for you. All right. So let's take a look at SHPH right now and what it really is doing. If we go to the 5 minute, let's take a look at it at the 5 minute. We can zoom in, and you can see on the 5 minute, it has in essence formed a double top right here with these two top tails. We don't like the top tails doubles.
We like the bottom.
We like bottom tails because, see, top tails create our signs of lack of enthusiasm by buyers and the potential of a downward reversal, which is what you're seeing right now on the 5 minute, and it will be a little bit more pronounced on the 1 minute. And you can see over here, which you actually also have on the 1 minute, if I get rid of those previous drawings that we did on the 5 minute, you could actually see that this has formed a head and shoulders pattern. Right over here is your head, your shoulder is right over here, your other shoulder is right over here. And whenever you get a head and shoulders bear pattern, oftentimes what happens is you have a sell-off, which is what happened right over here. Now it's trying to bounce off the 9 EMA on the 1 minute chart, but you could see that for the most part, the 9 EMA seems to be curving downward. It's trying to reverse itself, but overall it's curving downward. And then if we go into the RSI and the volume candles down over here, you could see that it was in the overbought area right over here, and now the volume and interest is starting to dip, and you could see that there are two terrible red big candles, which is disconcerting. And even though it's trying to form a green candle, you could see that right here it's forming what appears to be a top tail red, which would be indicative of more concern on the part of buyers, more selling off, if you will, by the sellers, and a further pull down on the price action. So right now it's holding resistance support at this level right over here. Let's go ahead and draw a line. But if it fails at this level, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if the price action just keeps on going down. This level is the 13 EMA, right? So it already failed on VWAP, it failed on the 9 EMA, and now it's trying to hold on the 13 EMA, but it doesn't look healthy, and I don't see it being interesting at this juncture. Again, a little more French. Oui, oui. Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
French fry.
Ha ha.
What else can I say in
that's
French?
Belgian.
Stop. A walk's as good as hit. No?
Yeah.
Come on, you're being too particular. Give me some other French stuff to say. What else we got? French fry, oui, oui, Pepe Le Pew, PP, escargot. That's all I got, man.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, Pepe.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, Pepe. All right, so so this one's trying to curl, but not particularly interesting at this point. Let's go and see what's going on with some of these other tickers that had run and have pulled back since. Let's see if they're recovering. SXTP. We're going to take a little peeky weeky over here. So on this particular ticker, we're looking at it on 1 minute doubles.
1 minute.
And you can see it clearly formed a double top on the 1 minute and sold off tremendously. And it sold off at one point below VWAP. That's the purple line. But it gave us this candle right here, which is a bottom tail red, which sometimes can be an indication of a reversal. So it's trying to curl back up, and we could see that the 9 EMA is in fact curling up and trying to pass through the 13 EMA, which is this dotted line. And then after that, it would have resistance at the 20, and it seems to be trying to pierce through that, but you got a lot of levels over here that it has to get through. So let's clear this up a little bit. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. Let's get rid of some of the lines over here. And create some new drawings now that we're a little bit deeper into the situation, if you will. Now, again, we got a significant resistance area right over here at around 19. Actually, I could even move it a little bit lower. Resistance right over here. Let's draw it again. There we go. Right over there. Right now, that's the new key resistance area, if you will, right around here. Okay, what happened? It didn't work. Let's see. Where are you? Right there. So this is the new key resistance area that the shorts would be congregating at. That area and possibly this area over here, right over here, which is 74. So these are two very key levels. If the price action can stay above 46 cents, let's say, then maybe this has a chance of reviving itself. But this is going to be a certain area where the shorts are going to certainly try to bring the price action back down. Now, if we look at it, doubles, take a look at what I see. What I'm concerned about is, as I get my graffiti pencil out, we got a couple of things going on. We got this over here. I don't like that.
I don't like that.
And this over here. I don't like that. And I certainly don't like that.
Head and shoulder action.
So you know what that looks like?
Head and shoulder action?
Head and shoulders. And we're not talking about the shampoo either.
No.
You know what I mean? We're talking about, that looks like a bear pattern. And I don't like that, Doubles. I don't like that at all. Now, let's talk about SXTP, a little bit of information on what we got on it. But then after that, we'll start discussing the head and shoulders. So, what do we got on it? Here's the story. It's currently selling for 46 cents. It had a high of 53 cents, which was pretty much the significant resistance area where the shorts went ahead and pulled the price action down. It ran up 113 percentage, more or less, 113%. On the following news, they signed a clinical trial agreement with all planned trial sites for tafanoquin babesiosis study. I would have never done well in med school, Doubles. Never. Because I can't say this stuff. Okay, float, 8 million. Volume, really high, 56 million. And that's encouraging. But, Doubles.
Tafanoquin babesiosis?
Shut up, wise guy. Shut up, you wise guy, you. But what's concerning in particular is that the price action right now is right at this level of around 46 cents, and this is a key level that the shorts would be considering to short it. Originally, the key level was up here. They did in fact short it, and you had a significant drop in price action, and then it tried to recover off of VWAP. It did recover, and it's now back at another key resistance area, which has been dropped down because of the price action drop. And it has formed a bearish head and shoulders pattern on the 1 minute. So this is potentially problematic. Now, that being said, let's take a look at it at the 5 minute.
5 minute.
We're looking at it at the 5 minute, Doubles.
Yeesh.
And on the 5 minute, it's even more clear that you have a head and shoulders pattern. So you have a confluence. Of both the 1 minute and the 5 minute.
Yeesh.
The 1 minute and the 5 minute. And we could see that the 9 EMA is curling downward on the 5 minute, which would be another confluence. And now we're going to go and take a look at another thing over here. Another thing. And we can see that the 9 EMA is somewhat curved downward even on the 1 minute. So we need to hold certainly above VWAP and bounce back up to become schmexy, but it seems to be a little too risque for my blood, Doubles. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So for now, SXTP, yes, you went up 113%. Yes, you had news. Yes, you have a lot of volume. But there's a lot of negatives with your relationship with me right now. So it's you, not me. What have you done for me lately? Time to move on. Don't take it personal, SXTP, because I certainly don't take it personal either. I'm going to go and check out another ticker. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Let's go back to CYT.
Scandalous.
CY. What was that? CYTO. CYTO. Okay, a lot of top tails on CYT. When we last looked at CYTO, it was only up about 5-6%. It did have news, and now it's up just under 18%. Not a lot of volume on it. Only 487,000 shares trading hands. Float 1.4 million. So the float's low, but the volume is lower. That's kind of disappointing. It's currently up 23%. The news was they announced a publication of preclinical data showing successful treatment of abdominal aortic aneurysm with SOD2 delivered by semaphore nanoparticles. That's the news, and I'm sticking with it. And it is curling at the moment. It's curling at the moment. It's now up 26%. Let's get the graffiti pencil. Doubles, the graffiti pencil.
Graffiti pencil.
All right. So we got some key levels of resistance that we want to indicate right over here. So we did that. Why is it not showing? There it is. 221 is a key level, so we got some room. We got a lot of top tails. It is curling upward, doubles. This is a 1 minute chart. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so we can see that it is in fact curling, and we can see that it's moving away from VWAP, so it's getting quite extended. It is trying to give us a bottom tail, doubles.
Bottom tail.
We love bottom tails, doubles, and that would be right over here. A bottom tail is an indication that the buyers are taking over, and it is moving up somewhat, up 26%, but you can see that it's not moving with a lot of authority because there's not a lot of volume. No, there's not a lot of volume. Only about 111,000 shares exchanging hands right now. It is trying to pick up some momentum, and it is moving up slowly as it grinds. It is currently up 29-30%. We're watching CYTO. Are you waking up, CYTO? Let's go to the 5 minute, doubles.
5 minute.
Let's go and check out what's going on the 5 minute. Let's zoom in, doubles. We're zooming in. Zoom, zoom, zoom. So we could see that it is super extended on the 5 minute, which would be indicative of a pullback being necessary. We could see that the RSI is overbought, but it is still pushing up 34%. And again, there's not many other tickers moving, so that's kind of schmexy that it's doing that, but we can see that it's forming what looks to be a top tail. And of course, you know the story, doubles. Indelibles, you know the story. We don't like top tails.
We like the bottom tail.
It's always about the bottom tail. So it would need to reclaim this. There seems to be some volume starting to move into the ticker. Let's take a look at it on the 1 minute. It looks like it has now 200,000 shares. So you do have some more volume coming in, but certainly not a lot. And we do have resistance at the high of 185, and it is pulling back. And of course, it is extended on the 1 minute. And it is extended on the 5 minute.
5 minute.
Come on, load up on the 5 minute. So you can see it's a pretty big top tail. So that's the story. It was schmexy while it lasted. It was like a little brief fling, a little brief rendezvous. Hey, that's another French word.
That's French.
Man, I'm doing all kinds of French stuff, man. I'm gonna have to get my library card up to date and go and get a French dictionary. You know.
Oh.
Yeah, the old dictionary. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got to do that. See how I did that? Yeah. All right, NVOS, another ticker that was moving because CYTO lost its momentum. NVOS, we're going to go and check it out. And, of course, we were concerned about a double top forming, which was right over here, which, in fact, is what it did, and a potential sell-off from the bearish double top, and we in fact had a sell-off. It kind of settled at the white line, which is the 200 EMA, exponential moving average, and it seems to be holding support. We would need to see more volume come in and push the price action up. Right now there's not a lot of volume on NVOS. It ran a little bit earlier, but right now it does not have a lot of volume, doubles, not a lot. Not a lot. Let's go back to SERV and see if it recovered or if it still was fading off. So again, here's another ticker that double topped after a parabolic run. It ran 87% pre-market. It was up over 100% in after hours yesterday. And the news was they had insider buying, statement of beneficial ownership, insider buying, and currently it's up 66%. So it gave back about 21% of its run this morning. Float is on the heavier side at around 15 million. Not horrendous, but certainly on the heavier side. But the more concerning issue is that it only has about 12 million in volume. So that's the story. And you currently have this double top on the 5-minute. Price action has broken down, and it went below VWAP, which is right over here, and we would need to see a curlage of the price action to bring it back up, and I'm not sure if we're going to get that because the 9 EMA seems to be curling downward, which would be an indication that the price is going to go south, and we don't like that. Yeah. All right, so that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to take our program to our Discord. Yay. We invite you to join us on the Discord. We left a link in the description and in the pinned comment to take a 5-day trial for 1 day. Now, this is important. Ladies and gentlemen, this is important because here's the story, okay? Here's the story. We're basically going to give this 5-day trial, and it's for $1. And then after that, if you decide that you want to stay with the Discord, which I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, we're just that damn good. I'm just saying. We're just that damn good. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's not bragging if it's the truth. I'm not being braggadocious. I'm being honest. All right. If you decide to stay, the regular price is $39.99 per month. Okay. That price is going to be going up, 100% going up. Okay. It's going to go up to $49.99 because we have introduced new features that are costing us quite a bit of money, and they're pretty awesome. Like, for example, we have introduced scanners, real-time scanners on the Discord. We've also introduced real-time news for the entire stock market, and of course there are stock research features as well. That's just some of the stuff that we're doing, in addition to monitoring services from pre-market all the way to after hours. So we monitor from 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time all the way straight through regular hours to after hours, and all the way up to the close of after hours at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we're the real deal, ladies and gents, indelibles of all kinds. So that's the story. All right. So if you want to lock in that $39.99 price, I would recommend you do that now because it's going to go away in the next few days. Okay. So yeah, that's the story with that. Okay. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe. Do what this young man says if you don't mind.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share.
Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. All right. In addition to that, if you're not following us on x.com, a.k.a. Twitter, it's at Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money. Go ahead and give us a follow over there. We do put a lot of content on Twitter as well. And, of course, you could also follow us on Twitch. At Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money. That's what's up. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Coach Nick Money.
DBL Nicks.
And the stonk queen herself, the bushy tail Serengeti specialist, DBL Moms.
Hey.
And we want you guys to make a ton of money because I am Coach Nick Money. Yes, make a lot of money. Be safe. Have all your dreams and aspirations fulfilled. We love you. Peace out. We will see you in